All right, today we're going on a pretty incredible journey. We're heading to what's often called the roof of the world, to one of the most sacred and most remote mountains on the planet. This is all about the epic trek to Mount Kailash, a place just buzzing with spiritual energy.
So here's the thing about Mount Kailash that just grabs you right away. It's a mountain so sacred, it has never been climbed. And look, it's not because it's technically impossible. The reason no one has ever stood on its summit comes down to a deep, profound respect for its sanctity. It's just off limits.
So that begs the real question, right? If you can't actually climb it, why on earth do thousands of people travel to this remote corner of the world and endure one of the toughest treks imaginable just to walk around it? Well, the answer lies in the pilgrimage itself.
To really get why people make this journey, we first have to understand the destination. You see, Mount Kailash isn't just another peak on a map. For millions of people, it is the spiritual center of the entire universe.
I mean, think about this. This one mountain is a holy site for 4 major religions, which means it's revered by almost a quarter of the world's population. For Hindus, it's the home of Lord Shiva. For Buddhists, it's the cosmic center, the seat of Demchuk. For Jains, it's where their first great teacher found liberation. And for the ancient Bon faith, it's the spiritual heart of the world.
And that act of walking around it, that has a name. It's called the Kora, or parikrama. It's this sacred circuit that pilgrims make, and the belief is that completing just one single Kora can wipe away the sins of an entire lifetime. That's a powerful draw.
Okay, so let's get into the journey itself. While you can approach Kailash by road these days, we're going to look at a much older, more immersive route. One that starts on foot deep in the hidden valleys of Nepal.
And this really shows you the difference. Arriving by road, yeah, it's faster. But the Simikot route is a totally different experience. It's a gradual immersion. When you walk from Nepal, you're letting your body slowly get used to the crazy altitude. Plus, you actually connect with the land and the people in a way you just can't from inside a car. The whole thing kicks off in Humla, one of the most isolated parts of Nepal you can imagine. Seriously, there are no roads here. Life moves along ancient footpaths that connect these tiny, stone-built villages. It feels like you're stepping back in time. And the scenery in these early days is just, wow! You're walking high above the Karnali River and you can hear it roaring below you. That powerful sound becomes the soundtrack for the first part of your trek through these incredible green gorges.
But the journey changes, and it changes fast. As you climb higher, the physical challenge really ramps up, and the world around you completely transforms from this vibrant green to a stark, high-altitude desert.
You can really see that steady climb here. The whole trek is like a staircase of altitude. You go from village to village, and each one is a little bit higher than the last. This slow, steady climb is so important to prepare you for what's waiting across the border in Tibet.
And then you hit your first major test, the Nara La Pass. We're talking 4,620 meters. At that height, just walking is a huge effort in the thin air. This pass is the real gateway from the world of Nepal into the vastness of the Tibetan plateau. The second you cross that pass, everything changes. It's like stepping into another world. All those green river valleys of Nepal just vanish behind you. Suddenly, you're surrounded by this immense, dry, and totally windswept landscape of Tibet. It's a really powerful and humbling moment.
So, after all that trekking, you finally made it. This is the heart of the journey, the whole reason for the pilgrimage, the sacred walk around the base of Mount Kailash itself.
But first, there's a ritual of purification. Before you start the Kora, you arrive at the absolutely beautiful Lake Mansarovar. Its water is this insane turquoise color, and pilgrims believe a dip in its icy waters will wash away a lifetime of sins, getting you spiritually ready for the final circuit.
The Kora itself is a 3-day trek. On day 1, you get your first proper, awe-inspiring view of the north face of Kailash. Day 2 is the ultimate challenge, crossing the highest pass. And then day 3 is the descent, when you finally complete that sacred circle.
And this is it, the physical climax of the whole journey, the Humla La Pass. At a staggering 5,630 meters, that's higher than Everest Base Camp, the air is just incredibly thin. Reaching this point is a massive test of both your body and your mind.
This quote really says it all. At that altitude, you simply can't rush. Every single step takes focus. The physical effort is so intense that it forces you into this state of mindfulness. The walk literally becomes a moving meditation. Completing that Kora is such a profound moment. But the journey's not quite over. The trip back is a really important time for reflection, for letting that immense experience really sink in.
So, after all those days of walking, you finally climb into a vehicle for the long drive back. And that change of pace, it gives you time to process everything. The physical struggle, the spiritual energy, the stark beauty of it all as you slowly make your way back to the modern world.
So what do you really get from a journey like this? It's so much more than just a hike. It's a test of your physical limits, for sure, but it's also a deep dive into ancient cultures, a path to spiritual insight. And, it leaves you with this powerful sense of accomplishment that just sticks with you long after you get home.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. The pilgrimage to Kailash is all about finding meaning through challenge and devotion. So the question for all of us is, what kind of epic journey would we be willing to take to find what truly matters in our own lives?